Another try, welcome again. We tried a few times to get you online and to see you. So a warm welcome to all the friends around the world, and a welcome to you again, the third welcome. And please give me a sign, for those of you who are online, to see whether you can actually see me, hear me, and whether the broadcast is working or not. Things come and go, and I'm very happy you are here. So, is anybody who has never been to Satsang here? Very welcome. Very welcome. It's always different, and lately I love to start again with a product from Rahasya, a little fragrance. Where did I put it?
Over here.
Over here, thank you. Which attunes us, because we're all coming from different backgrounds in the moment. Some of you come from work, some of you come from, I don't know what, from family, from holiday, from beach walks. So everyone is vibrating in a different frequency. And for me, Rahasya is a very beautiful tool to bring us into a similar frequency. I'm using the pomandas and the quintessences from Rahasya. Nora used to use all the other beautiful colors, and they're still here to kind of give us a little energy. When I was looking or tuning in for tonight, what came to me is a quintessence. To understand the difference between pomandas and quintessences. The pomandas, they strengthen the auric field, depending on which color they resonate with the different chakras that create the auric field. And the quintessences, they are much more refined. They are attuning us to an essential quality within us. What does that mean? If we start from the ultimate truth, we are infinite consciousness. Don't believe it, eventually, hopefully, you will find it within you. That's one purpose of Satsang, to actually recognize this. Infinite consciousness has no form, has no objective qualities, is basically, we could compare it with space, but is even beyond space. That's who we truly are. But unless we discover it, knowing it is useless. Then, if we look at the creation of this human being that is sitting here, this infinite consciousness begins to take form. And the form is very different. The form, one big difference is there's a male form and a female form. And then together with the form are many qualities that are inherent in us as infinite consciousness takes form. And we could call them our essential qualities or our gifts. And for those of you who have children or more than one child, you will know that even though you are the same mother, the same father, the same environment, the children are completely different. Anybody has more than one child? Yeah? You notice that? It's like, it's such a surprise, no? Where do they come from? Well, they come with a very unique, essential, a set of essential qualities that then, depending on the conditioning that we went through, gets either covered, or some of our qualities get supported and start expressing themselves. And depending on how much we have been repressed, we may be have become a complete robot. If that would be the case, you wouldn't be here. Then you would just kind of live the conditioned life that you have been trained to live. But underneath are still incredible gifts and qualities. And we all know this because we feel drawn to certain things. Some of us feel, for example, very simplified, feel drawn to painting, to creating, to building, to sports, to intellectual endeavors, to science. Very, very different qualities that we feel pulled to explore. And there's two different pulls. One pull is the conditioned pull, where we try to be a good girl or a good boy, to do the right thing for the parents so that we get loved. Many people, I don't know, in our age perhaps, still were told what they have to study, whether you want it or not. So that is the conditioned part. That's usually not directly in synchronicity with our gifts. And then the more we wake up to our individuality, to our uniqueness, we get interested in things that maybe not in the in the vision of our parents, because it may not give you money if you want to become a musician, maybe not big chance to become successful, and so the parents will put brakes on this. But eventually, as we grow out of the conditioning, the gifts can flower more and more. And what is, of course, our deepest gift is to discover again our original face, our original being. And it's almost like full circle. We come from nothingness, we move into somethingness, we move into the expression of the somethingness, and if we're lucky enough, before the body leaves us, we return home. And this home may look very, very different from different people. I mean, many friends who are sitting here, we were pulled miraculously to go to India. I was pulled in 1980, and I never knew that I was looking for truth. I was looking for adventure. I went to the Himalayas, I went mountain climbing for many, many months. And, then this cheeky master Osho just offered a book through some friends that we found in Khajuraho. I started to read that book, and I felt if only half of it is true, I need to go there, because something resonated that I knew to be true, but it was never spoken. I think many of you have that when you hear the truth and you feel, wow, that is so much how I function. Where does that come from? I want that. And then the whole search begins. And for some of us, the search first moves into becoming successful in the world, becoming rich, becoming famous, building a house, getting a career, and so on, until this is exhausted, and then the return to the inner search comes. And many people never search inside. So in a way we are quite kind of privileged. Now, the expression of our gifts has as many colors as the universe. It can be anything. And when we tune into the quintessences, into our essential qualities, again, we could say, this is just a model, we could say these qualities are related to the different chakras. First chakra is related to the physical body, to our sexual energy, to our material life. And when that energy kind of flowers, existence kind of provides the response in form of maybe a strong body or a will to exercise, or a joy in lovemaking that brings us to the exploration of Tantra, or in becoming a multimillionaire and being able to share your wealth in different ways. There are many ways. And so we could look at all these essential qualities through every chakra. Now, what came today is a quintessence. All these quintessences have names of masters, because masters have embodied, or some masters were not even in the body, certain exceptional qualities that became incredibly attractive for many people. For example, Jesus explored or manifested or expressed the heart, or Buddha expressed the flowering of the third eye, of awareness, or Shiva of oneness, of the recognition that everything is one. Or Lao Tzu, and I'm calling Lao Tzu because the quintessence today is called Lao Tzu and Kuan Yin. Now that's interesting. Lao Tzu is a sage from the East, he lived in China, and became famous through the Tao. And what he called the Tao is what we call awakened consciousness, or what other religions call perhaps God, or presence, or love. Now, how to say this, from the multiplicity to a little closer to ourselves is the duality. And the most obvious duality is male and female. We tend to identify quite strongly with male and female. But even this differentiation is kind of melting between each other. So there's a lot of transgender stuff happening these days that moves from male to female, or from female to male. Some of us don't relate to that yet. Who knows? Maybe we do eventually. So why Lao Tzu and Kuan Yin? Lao Tzu has already discovered the oneness of all things, but through a male body. So we could say the male aspect of spirituality in this case is awareness, is emptiness, is nothingness. This is why male spiritual seekers, monks and so on, they go to the Himalayas, or to the desert, they go into their aloneness, they go the path of meditation, and meditation is the path that denies whatever we can be aware of. So in India it's called neti. If I can be aware of my thoughts, I'm not my thoughts. Are you with me still? Am I talking too much? No? Just giving you a little scaffolding. So if I'm aware of my emotions, I'm not my emotions. If I'm aware of my body, I'm not my body. So you can go into absolute details. Whatever we are aware of is not me. That's what meditation shows us. I am that which is aware of all experience. Can you relate to that? No? Now, why we all say yes. If you really say yes, you're free. Because you are awareness. And then comes the feminine path. So you could say, of course, it's an arbitrary distinction, the path of meditation. And the feminine path is the path of love. So women, you can breathe now, it's okay. Right? Don't worry about awareness. Allow the love. So what does love find? Love find exactly the opposite. I am my thoughts. I am my emotion. I am my body. I am all my experiences. And I am, of course, that love that holds every experience in the tenderness of the heart, but in the tenderness of the empty heart. So, at the peak of love, I'm not just my experiences, I'm also your experiences. I'm the experiences of everyone on this planet. Has anybody had perhaps a little glimpse of that? That, my God, whatever this person feels is so familiar, that's also me, and that's also me. And the jealousy is also me. And the wonderful, loving presence is also me. And the deep emotion is also me. And the freak out and emotional drama is also me. It's all me. Me, me, me. So that me in love is the same me in nothingness, because it's either nothing or everything. Are you following that? It's big. So some of us seekers, whether you're woman or man, you may feel more drawn to emptiness, to that which is aware, and you find nothingness. And others feel more drawn to love, and you find fullness. And then others feel drawn to both, and that's Tantra. So where were we? Lao Tzu and Kuan Yin. Lao Tzu and Kuan Yin. And it's a vibration. So we're gonna have a little ritual in this. And the ritual implies that I'm gonna come around and give you a few drops of Lao Tzu and Kuan Yin quintessence on your left wrist. And then you rub it together, and we're gonna guide you into a little ritual to actually bring the energy from looking out back towards looking inward. Should we try that? Okay. You all could stand up. And make the left wrist again. And rub it into your wrist. And close your eyes. It's an inner experience. And let that vibration on your wrist be like a tuning fork for these two essential qualities within you. Both formless. Awareness is formless. Love is formless. And both of these no things are holding this wonderful body-mind in a warm, clear, embrace. Very good. Then you can raise your arms high above the head and imagine you are growing wings from the core of your spine to your fingertips. You can become an angel if you like, or a big bird. And then you can allow your wings to open and close above the crown, crossing over at the midline of the body, bringing the quality of Lao Tzu and Kuan Yin into all the layers of your aura. You could say the right wing, the wing of meditation, of awareness, the left wing, the wing of love. And in that meeting, something transcendental begins to happen, a merging of the male and female, which from the esoteric science point of view happens in the third eye. So then you can open and close your wings around the third eye, the forehead center. And in the opening, imagine you're opening the curtains of all your projections. Any thought you have about anything is a projection. Sorry. So it's a big curtain. No? There's a lot of stuff. You just open it. And in the embrace, embracing that capacity that is inherent in all of us to see reality as it is. No interpretation is needed. It is already what it is. And then we can open and close our wings around the throat. In the opening, in the throat, we carry all these limiting or even expanding beliefs that then create our identity. Another curtain. So in the opening, allow the curtain of all your beliefs to open. With this, everything we know. And in the embrace, embracing the unknown. That space from where true creativity emerges. So we're basically moving from the known, all our beliefs, into the unknown. And then when we come to the heart, opening and closing your wings around the heart. The heart is usually covered by all the ideals and shoulds we have. Anybody has that? Yeah, how you should be, how others should be, good luck. It hides who we are. So again, allow that curtain of your ideals and shoulds and should nots to open. And in the embrace, embracing your innocence, that innocent heart of love. And allow your wings for a moment to rest over your heart, absorbing the vibration of Lao Tzu and Kuan Yin deep in the silence of the heart. And you will find perhaps your heart respond to that. A deep breath. And then opening and closing your wings around the solar plexus. The solar plexus we are protecting through all our strategies of separation. So when you open your wings, allow all these armors to release. Competition, comparison, judgment, blame, inferiority, superiority, not good enough. The list is long, no? Let it all kind of open up. And in the embrace, embracing your uniqueness, embracing the joy of being an individual, that there's no one like you in the whole universe. Then opening your wings and embracing the second chakra, the lower belly. In the opening, now that may be a little challenging, but dare to just open all your emotional holdings, any hurts, wounds, traumas, just let it open, give it to the sky, give it to existence. And in the embrace, we can embrace our deep sensitivity. And we can embrace that what we call the inner child, the innocent spontaneity of feeling, the openness to all our senses. And then opening your wings and embracing the first chakra, the root center, embracing this physical body as an incredible vehicle for consciousness, and embracing our sexual energy as the only energy we have. Then around the legs, until you come all the way down, and for a moment connecting with Mother Earth. And this is a good moment to let go. Whatever you don't need right now, it's like all these curtains that we have opened, just give it back to the earth. So for a moment, we become completely empty. Empty of the person and full of presence. And now when we come up, we can unwind our wings around each other in a backward spiral, like a symbolic gesture of unwinding any residues of the holding fibers of the mind, until we can stand with our wings open for a moment. A transparent being, that's where the angels come from, in a way, a being of light. And then you can bring your palms together, your wings together, and your wrists close to your nostrils. And taking 3 deep breaths of this fragrance into the temple of the body. And perhaps as you touch your third eye with your thumbs, getting a sense of the merging of awareness and love of male and female within you, which takes us to a place even deeper inside where there is no more duality. Very good. And then we can sit. We have a candle here, so I want to dedicate the light of the candle today to the flowering of the male and female, so it may take us to the merging beyond male and female inside. Oops, sorry. From here we're going to go into a meditation. And I'm going to guide us a little bit. And for those of you who are maybe a little bit more new to meditation, remember that meditation is really a space where we allow what is. We don't change anything. We don't manipulate anything. We allow every experience to be what it is. And for that we can use the senses. We can begin with the senses, because usually the senses take us out with our attention towards objects. But every sense is also a doorway inward, the doorway to presence. So as we become aware of the music, for example, just allow the music to enter you rather than your attention going out to the music. Allow the music to come in. And you will notice you are more present here. We can also use the sense of touch. You feel your body sitting on the chair, and you allow that sensation where your body touches the cushion or the chair to be received inside. And we are more present. So we have sound, we have touch. The eyes are closed, and yet there is some visual experiences, maybe light and shadow in front of the closed eyes. Allow yourself to receive also that visual experience. As we, as a group of people, as we together move inwards, it's somehow an amplification. Now, many things are happening as we're just sitting here. For example, thoughts may come and go. Don't try to resist any thought or try to change anything. Just allow it to be so. The best way to say it would be the space for the thoughts. Be the space for any feeling. Be the space for any sensation. The language is a little bit complicated because that's who we are. We are space. Awareness is space. And as we recognize that wherever our attention goes is where our energy flows, we can use that wisdom to take our attention to the heart, to the center of your chest. Just feel your heart. And you will notice the moment your attention goes there, there is perhaps a sensation that you were not aware of before. Maybe an opening, maybe a pressure, maybe a numbness. Don't choose. Feel your heart. Now allow each in-breath to be an expansion of the experience of this moment. Allow each out-breath to be a letting go deeper inside. And like this, we are naturally, if you like, melting into the heart. And we are melting deeper than thoughts. And the thoughts can continue. They are like clouds in the sky. We melt deeper than feelings. And also feelings are another layer of clouds, if you like. We melt deeper than body sensations. Maybe you're aware of the body feeling different things, maybe some tension or some warmth or some well-being, and yet we can melt deeper than that, inside. And deeper than the breath. And deeper than the heartbeat. And deeper than all experiences. Now, when we leave all experiences on the periphery, who am I? What is this me? Because in day-to-day life we think this me is some achievement or some form or some emotion or some thought or some concept or some story. And now we are deeper than all of this. And still we are here. What is here when everything that we can be aware of is gone? Rest here for a while. The mind cannot figure it out, no need. Stay with the question and stay with the unspeakable that is behind all words. And we're going to sit for a while. We're going to sit for about 20 minutes. And you allow each out-breath to take you deeper and deeper into that mystery. deeper and deeper. Without any fear, just go in. In. Whatever you meet on the way, go behind it, deeper in. Feel the peace here. Even if there's turmoil on the surface, our being is peace. Feel the silence here. The stillness. Have a sense of this spaciousness, unlimited. Mind cannot explain what is deeper than mind, and yet we are that. Everything of experience comes and goes in that. And we are that. when we gently become aware of the body again. Bring with you that infinity. Bring with you the peace. It's not fabricated, it's not imagined, it's not done, it is who we are. And then you can take a deeper breath. Gently become aware of the body again. Gently become aware of the sensations again. But bring with you the spaciousness of nothingness. Until you find a good moment to open your eyes to a brand new moment here. Very good. So precious, no? Just being here. Nowhere to go, no past, no future, no becoming, just being. No effort. A few people who have found this have become amazing poets like Rumi or Kabir or Hafiz, describing the undescribable. Timeless, ageless. Anything you want to share or ask or declare or doubt or challenge? Please feel free. It's kind of the beauty when more than one, when you sit alone in meditation, it also works. But the moment there is more than one, it becomes this yummy depths. That's the beauty of Sangha, of friends coming together to dive into what's true. The Buddha knew it already. In the saying, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. We used to chant this when we were on the ranch with Osho in America. At that time I couldn't really relate to what this was for. It's really like I bow down to the awakened consciousness, Buddha. And the awakened consciousness takes form in the Sangha. So I bow down to the Sangha, to the friends that are on the same journey towards liberation, which is of course not in the future, but it's already here. The journey of unveiling what's already here. And Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami is the ultimate truth. I bow down to the ultimate truth. Or the Dharma. Yes. You want to come?
Rahasya.
I'm admiring you. You know, it's like a gold woven garment.
Yes, it's a gold woven garment.
Amazing. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the knights in the Middle Ages, like a very noble knights. So tell me.
Well, I wanted to come up and share mostly to, like, just sitting before was kind of the final integration piece of just a storm that's been moving around all week. And I wanted to share because I wanted to put it into words and see just how it comes together, because it's been just an experience, and then piece by piece has landed. And so my beloved has been through just like really hitting his pain at the moment, and all the strategies and all the patterns that he's had. It's like they've taken sort of farcical levels, And at times I've been triggered. I've gone, you can blame me for that, or but I've just passed the bucket back over again and again, passed the ball over the fence, going, no, I'm not buying into this.
Good.
I'm not going to play it.
Good. So he has his guru in his bedroom.
What's that?
He has his guru in his bedroom.
And
man, do you know that? Did you know that? That whatever your partner is actually your guru?
yeah, and he's showed me an amazing piece this week, which is it's been like this one moment breaking down and I'm there, and then next moment pushing me away, and I need my space and I don't want anything to do with anyone in the whole world, and it's like the pain has just built, and I went to see Rago today with body work, and she really let me feel like, okay, you've done enough now. You really tried, but you can rest now. And so I came home and I just didn't add any more to it, and then he went on another rant about how people, can't be trusted and they hurt and blah, blah, blah. And I said, how about we go for a walk? And we went for a walk, and I showed him a new track, and when we came home there was tension again. So I went and took a bath and read my book and came out and made some dinner, and then he broke, just absolutely broke.
Good.
Yes.
You know how it is? How it is when one in a relationship is present and the other is identified with his story, and the story doesn't have, is not kind of supported by the partner. You want to kill that partner.
No, you know what he actually did today? He said, you know me, just tell me what you see, tell me how it is. And so I just took the filter off and said, this is what I see. And he said, oh, thank you, that's the most that I can work with. But then that sort of took a new spin. And anyway.
Good, he's burning.
Yeah, and
you are burning too, so...
Yes, I'm burning too.
Talk about you a little bit.
Well, what I needed to come to was like this petty little thing that, we got invited to our friends for dinner, and midway through the week, and he sort of lashed out, oh, I don't know, you go, whatever. And I said, okay, I'll go then. So I booked in with my friends. And now it feels so trivial because it's a party, and his friend is coming up from Sydney, and he's like, oh, by the way, you're invited to that party too. I'm like, oh, midway through the week, that wasn't how it sounded. He wanted to be on his own free path and whatnot. So then I started getting eaten by this, like, oh shit, should I cancel with my friends? Should I go to this party? Should I? And it was just so noisy in my head. And I was sitting here in meditation, and I saw like how, I can find my center, but then how quickly at the drop of a hat I go, oh, okay, I'll change, or I'll be the supportive partner in this, or I'll change my plan, and just went, actually, and comes back to, we had a session a week ago or something, when I saw that, it actually doesn't matter what I choose to do, because whatever I choose to do is already held. And then it's just which game do I want to play? And that's when I realised that, well, I actually want to play the game of make friends with my friends, and I don't care how tingly juicy this party is over here, and I just have had enough of it. I've just had enough of the ups and the downs and the back and the forth and the come closer, push back.
Well, does that work? Does that have any consequences when you have enough?
Well, it kind of, no, not that it has to stop. He
That's
doesn't
right.
have to stop.
It won't stop.
No, it's not going to stop.
It's called life. No?
Yeah, it's called life.
It won't stop.
No, that's fine. He can do that. But I just don't know if I want to sort of put up a sail for that wind just to be blown off in the storm. I kind of just happy to just sail a bit slowly for a while, and I don't know.
You know, I mean, when we put that in a little context.
It probably sounds like a long ramble.
Yeah, it's our story. No?
Yeah.
But if we bring the story to the point,
Whatever that was.
whatever that was, it reminds me, and I'm sure you have that when you're in a relationship.
Mm.
When one of you doesn't play the game anymore, for whatever reason, the other freaks out.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I lived with Nura in Pune for 10 years in the winter time. And we were always doing, one of us did a course, and the other was trembling at home. Oh my God, will he love me still when he comes back? And then she did a course, and I was sitting trembling at home. I said, oh my God, there's all these juicy men and this fantastic therapist. Will she love me when she comes back? Yeah. And the ego just burns in all sorts of jealousies and tries to find the right strategy. What you're doing right now, I'm just not gonna, whatever you're not gonna do anymore, which is the same thing. It's like it's trying.
Yeah, true.
No, it's basically.
I just don't know if it is the strategy or if it's just that I'd more like I've exhausted the strategies.
It's exhausted the strategies.
I've
but
exhausted
but you're still in the story, and there's no problem in that. This is kind of the movie we look at in life. But what could be interesting
I wanted to pass my strategy for awareness, though.
Yeah.
Your strategy is my strategy.
Now we have all the spiritual wisdom that it's about awareness. So let's strategize awareness.
See how zen I am?
Yeah. Then the ego takes that and says, okay, I'm going to be zen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be involved in that story.
No, I've got my shiny jumper.
And all it needs is what's already happening. You see it. The drama doesn't need to change. But the enjoyment of seeing it puts you right into the spectator chair.
Yeah.
And we go to the cinema. I mean, especially women love relationship dramas in the cinema, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sleepless in Seattle.
I've actually, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But so just that edition that actually sees it is all that's needed.
Mm.
But nothing needs to change. And the more you rest as that which is aware, the more he will freak out, because he doesn't know you anymore.
Mm.
And he doesn't know himself anymore.
Mm.
That's the risk. And so you can take turns in freaking out. Maybe he's going to do something, and then you see, suddenly you don't know him anymore.
Mm.
Because we tend to create a definition of ourselves through what we think we know about the other. When the other changes, I don't know anymore who I am in relation to that. That's why he's freaking out if you don't play the game.
He's not freaking out about me.
Just in himself.
Yeah.
Good.
Mm.
And you don't need to get involved. But if you get involved, don't try not to get involved. That doesn't work.
No. And yeah.
What is here now?
It's all playing out, its own course.
Yeah. But it also feels, forgive me or correct me, it feels like the air goes out of the balloon of me.
Mm.
Enjoy that for a moment.
Mm.
Let the air come out.
Mm.
Yeah, because our tendency is to identify with so many different things, making a me, a person, a sense of self out of different stories. And we try to keep that sense of me intact, and suddenly the air goes out.
Mm.
It's not you.
Yeah, and with this, when there's I've got an amazing ability to sort of shift circumstances or plans or what's happening or what's not, and
Well, that's in your profession, isn't
in my profession,
it? Yeah. Isn't it your profession? Like consulting and
yeah.
finding the right strategies and shifting. If this doesn't work, then another one.
Yeah. So I'm amazing at sort of adapting to all those changes.
Yeah.
But
What doesn't change? This is a question to all of us.
yeah, well,
What doesn't change?
it's the awareness.
Everything changes. What doesn't change?
Yeah, awareness.
Yeah, that's what your mind knows.
Yeah.
Does
right
your
now,
being
not.
does your being know this? Because if your being knows this, you're carrying the most precious diamond in your hand. Yeah,
Well,
the
my
awareness.
being comes in and out of knowing it. Well, it's there, right? But it's not always
Yeah.
at the tip of my. Yeah.
Drop in it for a moment. It's right here. Just drop in it. It has no story. It has no history. It has no memory. It has no hope of the future. It has no form. And the attempt of our sense of self is always looking for the form, for the tangible, for the experientiable, for the sensory experience of it.
Sometimes I can just find it so, like when I'm
That's
in
sometimes.
that.
Now.
No,
What's now?
I need to take a detour. I need to take a detour.
I'm not allowing you.
But I want to.
Yes. Endless. Sometimes it's the mind. It is the mind going somewhere to. Yeah, we all have
It's
that.
when the mind tries to make decisions, A or B, this or that.
Yes,
It's excruciating.
it is.
Yeah.
But you prefer that.
No. No,
You
it's
just told
exhausting.
me. I prefer to do the detours. What is here before the mind? Before the thoughts, before the strategies, before the attempts to protect yourself as a sense of self, before the identity called Maria. What is here?
It's the essence that surrounds it all, where it comes from and where it goes back to. Even the thoughts and the strategies come burst out of that.
Yeah, just you know, we're not looking for something. We just fall behind. Just let yourself fall behind it. Whatever appears as a form or as a thought or as a concept or as a story, we forget that there is something behind that, closer to you, closer to you, closer to you, closer to you, closer than even the breath, closer than the heartbeat, closer than any story, closer than the body. And we overlook it most of the time. It's the most precious discovery we can make.
It's funny that the mind rationalizes. I'm just going to take this detour. I'll come back to it. But
Yeah, that's what the mind does.
yeah.
And that's part of the humanness in it.
Mm-hmm.
I read a title of one of Moji's Satsangs, and I really loved the title. I don't know if I can repeat it directly. It's like, I am nothingness enjoying to play somethingness. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? When you really know that you are nobody, you are nothing, that everything you thought you are is basically covering up the true essence of being, then you can play the somethingness very, very easily. Nothing needs to change. Chopping wood, cutting, taking water from the well before, awakening after awakening. The only difference is before there is somebody doing it. After, it's just happening.
But these stories of awakening are, you know, in my experience, it's like, yeah, I can definitely see before I had this really radical opening that it was all towards something, and, you know, but it's not, in my experience, it wasn't like this, bam, now I'm awakened, now I'm opened, and now I'm just in this like playing all the time. It's more, I get lost again, and then I have to wake up again, and then I get lost again, and then I have to wake up again.
You don't have to, but
No.
it's good to remember.
Yeah, it
And
gets
then
a bit exhausting otherwise.
Well, yeah. But you will also perhaps notice that, I mean, for some of it's very different. No? For some of us, it goes in one go, but I hardly know anyone where it went in one go.
Mm.
And then, for most of us, it's like we have a glimpse, and then we go back, and we have a glimpse, and we identify, and we have a glimpse. But the depths of glimpsing gets deeper, and the attachment to thought or form or story gets less and less. Do you have that?
Yeah, I think so.
And I think that's really needed. It's needed in this world. That this, even if it's gradual, it's totally needed, because otherwise we are doomed. So the shining golden night. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think I want to play you a song that kind of sums it up. I'm rediscovering songs that I heard so many times, but do you have that when your understanding deepens, suddenly you hear things totally different? And then you thought you understand, and then a year later you hear it again and you understand a totally different dimension of it? Okay, this is from Kirtana and it's called I Am.
For the body, for the story, before the name, beyond the mind's attempt to find or explain, before the breath, beyond the sense of pleasure or of pain. And after death, I am. Does awareness begin and does it end? I have to say, always been within the body, without the body, not subject to changing moods, states of health, points of view, without needs, before the deeds and the monuments of man. Oh, and after that, I am. Oh, many differences separate us on the surface, yeah. But I cannot find a boundary in consciousness. Oh. And when you ask me, does awareness begin and does it end? I have to say, I've always been at the silent core, and yet before phenomenon began. Oh, and after it,
Yes. Before it and after it. The invitation that kind of haunts me lately more and more is just to rest as the I am, to rest that as that which has no form, no concept, no idea, no story, nothing that attempts to define itself as somebody. I recommend that. And of course, when I talk about it, it's the mind talking, but it points towards something that is so obvious, and yet it's overlooked by most of humanity. And when that is remembered, it's not even, you cannot become it. We are it. The I. Each time you say I, how many times during the day? I feel, I know, I think, I love, I hate, whatever I is always behind all of it. The I is the only thing that never changes. Before the body and after the body, she sings. I is the only unchanging. And just that recognition is liberating everything else. No? Does that make any sense? Are you following this a little bit? It's I remember for many years, or in the Tantra courses, for those of you who have done the Tantra, we always have this beautiful meditation of finding the real source of any experience. And that was always puzzling for me, many years ago, because I was looking for something as a source. And the source is actually no thing. It is what we call being, or the I from which every form appears. If we get this, then the whole relationship drama is actually a guide back to the source. There's an experience that can be experienced by whom, by what? By I. And when we take the experience and make the other responsible, then we have drama. But when we take the experience and go to the source, to the I feel I am upset. And we rest as the I. The upset is just like a cloud appearing and disappearing in the infinity of formlessness. It's even beyond space. We could say it's space, but it's beyond space. I think I leave you with that. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So the beauty, one of the beauties of satsang, I recommend it, is to try and express the inexpressible. It's a wonderful, wonderful challenge. So, yeah, next Friday, another possibility. You're so welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.